Give thanks, Elder. Very, very important. I would like to, I mean, maybe it's obvious, but sometimes it's also best to clarify that the objective of this series of reasoning or conferences or panels, meetings, is not to create a next organization, but to make ideas and information circulate. So this is like a all welcoming platform. That is what I think is in Ras Flaco's mind and in I mind. So different mansions, different nationalities, different, I mean, it's all great. What we need to do is to use this platform as a way to make things circulate in order to stimulate once and once towards general growth. So if 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 there are not any other adds to this, I will pass on to the next topic. Anybody else? Selassie the first.
King, I have my hand raised. I don't know if the eye noticed that.
Come again, Russ?
I'm saying I have my hand raised symbol to indicate to the eye that I wish to make a comment.
Apologies. I didn't see that. Well, in truth, I see the hand, but I didn't realize that was what it was. That is my ignorance in this Zoom technology, you see. So apologies for that.
It's I meant first ever Zoom meeting. I'm joining.
So you are much more advanced than
I want to say glory to word, glory to sound, glory to the true and living Eye of Iration, Haile Selassie I, who liveth and reigneth within the hearts of I and I continuously. And I wanted to greet all of the familiar and unfamiliar faces today on this Zoom meeting, and I glorify to be able to participate. Well, brethren, it is what it is when it comes to all things, including I and I as Rastafari. And the point of that is to say, all of the aspirations that Joshua and I, through the gift of love, that all of I and I should seek for one and all, can be overwhelming because the wants and needs are so great, and the capacity to address things in a properly administrative way seem far and distant, almost out of reach. But I want to say, take courage, exercise the good faith, and do not despair, because Shah has given everything to I and I in order to do his work. So when I'm in here, Ras Flaco, who has trod from ever since, take a perspective on where things have been and where things are going. I see it as a cautionary note. Why? Because everything can be achieved, but that the tools to achieve the proper, in this generation now coming, the knowledge of the trod that the elders have made to bring us to this stage are historical. Most do not know of the Camp and Yard Jamaican trod. They have to learn from Wise Mind Publication or see Ross Flacco doing an interview on YouTube. So the collectivities that emerged from this camp and yard experience that during my time coming up were identified as the seminal structures within Rastafari, Nyabingi, 12 Tribe, EWF, Bobo Shanti. Yes, they exist, but their relevance has been waning for a long time. Why? Because administratively, they were never equipped to bring I to this modern epoch. These are bubbles, and these bubbles do not function in a way that I-Man can say, okay, here is what I should cite up in a collective sense, because the works are going forward and I-Man can identify with how the works are proceeding. I see it as an internal sectarian divide that is restricting the growth and shows little or no appeal to the younger generation coming forward. So I'm holding the cell phone in I-Man hand, and I'm networking with I brethren through what? An invitation to participate. So I do not need to try to generate some new overarching structure. It is the same networking that have to proceed from the same place, from the hand to the mind, to the mouth, so that the actions that are necessary to achieve the aspiration can be realized. That's why I love to point to the work of the Word Sound Power Collective. The Word Sound Power Collective does not represent any house or mansion of Rastafari. What does it represent? It represents the creed and focuses on the upliftment of the ancients, because the ancients are in great need. And this is a shining light to shine wherever ones have interest in Rastafari. I-Man have, within I-Man's own capacity, tried to bring a Rastafari spirit to the work in reggae music. This is the tribe that Jah showed to I as a mission for I-Man personally. I take every opportunity to draw attention to the work of the Word Sound Power Collective within my reggae element. Why? Because so much is said about how people in reggae music are ignoring the needs of the elders. I've been hearing this argument for so long. Well, I have the Word Sound Power Collective to use to let these same people know that words without works is a spiritual death. If you want to praise Rastafari name in sound and song, try and do so in a way that one's attention is brought to the needs of I communities. Not everyone is in a position to make a donation of dollars or money, call it. But these same ones can bring forward a song and contribute a song. So let I be very resourceful in our resolve to exploit the opportunities that I create to move forward. So let there be one and few exemplary organizations or institutions or communities that I can rally round. I'm not looking for a new fruit to taste. I want to enjoy the fruits that Jah has brought forth for I and I. So give thanks.
Yes, Papa Elliot, give thanks. Give thanks for the input. And apologies once again if I didn't pick up that hands up. You know,
And
still trying to get familiar with them vibes there, but you know, we're reaching there, we're reaching there. So give thanks, very important reflection on how faith and works must go together, and this is the time in which these aspects will really make the difference. And Congo Bryce planning to have one of this next meeting, if not the next, maybe the one after this, entirely about Word Sound and Power Collective. So the board of Word Sound and Power Collective will be invited, and you know, that will be an occasion to, for those that do not know yet the work of Word Sound and Power Collective, there is a website which is wordsoundandpowercollective.org, and is the organization helping Rastafari Incents in need, and has been working now since many years. And so everyone is invited to do what Russ Elliot suggests. Check it out and see what you can do. So I give thanks for the Word Sound and Power so far. I think unless there is anybody else wanting to contribute to this first topic, we could move forward and go ahead. I agree. So the next topic in the list, and I would love to have Ras Flaco explain more about this, is the Global Secretariat. And again, Ras Flaco, could I give the explanation of the Global Secretariat and the work? Ancient Flaco?
Yeah, Rastafari. I give thanks again. Okay. This is going good, and many things coming up, even historical and documental. As I want to read a lot and do research as I can on Rastafari development. Those who are familiar with the July 18th to 25th, 1983 RITA conference, because all conferences are important. If you do not attend a conference, try to read up on what took place. Try to read up on the resolutions. Try to read up on the discussions. Because most times we do a lot of things, but those things could be left, or not to spend so much time on it, because those were already done and said. So, as far as the administration is concerned, out of the 22 points, it is said that the administration of the Rastafari community should be handled at two distinct levels. The first, a Rastafari International Secretariat, which is the same as a Rastafari Global Secretariat. Second point, Rastafari International Theocratic Government functional. Those are two major things, and we keep missing them. And why we are stuck in so much going around and searching, because I'm not sure if it is the herb is the meditation or the reggae music is the meditation for most people, but the importance of things going forward, it should be in one pool. We can't look on one side and don't look on the total. So the ancients at that time concluded to move Rastafari forward. Even today, we should establish a Rastafari Global Secretariat, and that was from 1983. And also, Rastafari International Theocracy. That's for Nyabingi. Maybe the Baba Shanti don't see that theocracy, maybe the 12 tribe don't see it, but relating to Nyabingi, which is a Nyabingi conference, it is all about establishing theocracy. Let's see now. Let me read a little something from the Elder, this magazine. Okay. At a meeting on Monday, November 6, 2017, we the delegates representing Unification Organization at the inaugural All-African Rastafari Gathering in Shashamane, Ethiopia, November 1 to 7, 2017, did recognize and affirm the need for a Rastafari Global Secretariat. So from November 2017, it was established. First meeting in Shashamane. The idea of a Rastafari Global Secretariat was first expressed and documented at the Rastafari International Theocracy Assembly Rita held at the University of the West Indies, Mona, 8 to 25th, 1983, but was not materialized to date. See how many years have passed. Skipping these things. Now, it's finally established officially. The process followed since 2015 initially largely used cyber communication to solicit thoughts. There was a reasoning, cyber reasoning and all of that until it was launched 2017. On the 50th anniversary visit of His Majesty to Jamaica, it was relaunched in Jamaica at Pitford. So we have that. Want to find something else to read. Okay. Many ones are going around. Rastafari is not organized. Rastafari is very organized, but very disobedient and very own way. When things are set, one sees to ignore them. So we're having problems. So let me just give an idea of the summary document of Rastafari. Rastafari Global Secretariat will fill the void in representing the international Rastafari community in the modern world. While seeking to improve relationship within Rastafari communities and organizations, the objective is to consolidate the existing Rastafari organization in a cooperative functional dynamic and at the same time empowering Rastafari individuals and communities through development projects. I want to just read the vision statement and the mission statement. The vision statement, a legitimized authority for Rastafari matters in international relations, supporting capacity building and society of our Rastafari mansions, organizations, and individuals. The mission statement, I will forever bring honor to the name of His Imperial Majesty and Empress Menen in our efforts to bring our nation to peace, love, and prosperity. We will empower our Rastafari collective through sustainable development, integrity, collective security, and international morality and trustworthiness. That gives you an idea of what Rastafari Global Secretariat, which is already established, is about. We have ones in it like Russia, Bako, you have Ayman, you have Rastafari, Robbie Shillman, Ras Steve, Ras Jabalani Tafari in South Africa. So you find that it's a balance between ones and one same way. But it's for I now to give more strength to the Global Secretariat since it's already been established. And with the establishment of Rastafari Global Secretariat, most of these things happening within Rastafari will be easily resolved because the houses and mansions and secretaries within this framework will be able to contribute and to follow up. We were trying to get a headquarters for the Global Secretariat. I was saying that South Africa is not South Africa, Ethiopia is the best place. One was looking at England, One was looking on bank accounts for the Global Secretariat where you could pay dues, you could give your information. I'm not sure to date if those things are already finalized, but there were discussions around it. How best create a bank account, you could pay dues, you could give contribution in case of need, cover traveling expenses and trips and all those things. But the whole thing is good. Let me go through some goals now, which is also good. To organize and centralize the global Rastafari community as a unified and coherent collective under the leadership of His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie and Empress Menen. Point 2, to build on the foundation the beloved elders have set by their example. Point 3, to harness the best available skills, expertise, and experience within the movement. 4, to provide a functional administration that will serve the global movement with competence, transparency, and accountability. Point 5, to seek reparatory justice for crimes committed against Rastafari within their local, national, regional, and international communities. To also, by extension, seek reparatory justice for crimes against Africans during the transatlantic slave period and subsequent colonization. Point 6, to advance the right to return to Africa as part of a reparatory justice campaign. Point 7, to ensure social upliftment and economic enfranchisement opportunities for Rastafari worldwide. To ensure Rastafari copyright, brand matters are addressed to the advantage of Rastafari. So there I can have an idea of what Rastafari Global Secretariat is mandated to do, drawing from the 22-point resolution with the same way, and I are set on a mission then to make Rastafari collectively strong through a global secretariat, which I think is very important.
And so, Rastafari, could I please share with those amongst I and I that don't know which is the current situation, which is the current state of the Rastafari Global Secretariat? We learned that it has established, like I said. So, what can we do? What can be done? How can people reach to the Global Secretariat? And what's, according to your mind, next step?
Okay. It is I wouldn't use the word sad, but disappointing to see how Rastafari individuals rally themselves in support of the Global Secretariat. Nyabingi showed very little interest. Baba Shanti showed very little interest, and that's where we will get our support from. So what we did, we draw on Rastafari individuals now of our integrity to make the secretarial work. I need to reason with Rashan, go back to find out how the bank account, which bank we have chosen. Because you have to, since you're going international, you have to have a bank that you send money through and see what's going on there. And where will be the headquarters be? Either in Jamaica or Ethiopia, Shashaman, Ethiopia, or Addis Ababa. We at that point when I was reasoning, it was not finalized. So I have to go. It's still on track, but those key areas of the secretariat. So I have to do more groundwork on it to make sure I could bring forth that information. But active and already established in what we're supposed to do. But it cannot be done with the few on board. It should be a collective work of Rastafari globally within the same mindset to mobilize things and to get what is done. Because we are not holding house and mansions at ransom. It is Rastafari Global Secretariat and Nyabingi Bobo Shanti 12 tribe. It's above mansion. Called the name Rastafari is above all mansions. So we're looking at those who are willing to share or to be a part of the Rastafari collective strength in the sense of a skill set, integrity, and that's the way we will be able to get things going and to even balance the works of World Sound Power Collective. So we have to find other ways wherein Rastafari who will say, okay, I'm not Bobo Shanti, I'm not 12 tribe, and I'm not being, but I can function with a global framework and do my work same way. So that's why the Global Secretariat is helpful, wherein ones in different regions can send in the information, you know. I think there's a registration form too. Let me see if I can find it here.
Please
Give me a
share
minute.
the contact informations, Bridget, how to contact best way and get in touch.
Right. I'll have to bring that forward by emails and stuff like that. But there should be a registration form that goes around for membership. Because I have it right here. With vital information, name, address, community residence, work, employment, skill set, all of that. But I'll have to do a follow-up and see if those applications were sent out. I have to do a follow-up on, Ras Shango Bako and maybe Ras Rabi to see how far we have gone with it. So I could have that be prepared and shared within time. But the Global Secretariat is up and running and it is active. It's just some final stages to go through. You know, that's where we have been so far. So it's well, I see many fragmentation within Rastafari on one side. I see Rastafari on the other side coming together to make things work, to set a structure that we all can work through. Which was, and they are also looking at what was set at a conference level. There's no point you doing a conference and those points are there hanging and we do nothing but keep another conference and more conference and more conference. And you don't really do anything from the first conference. So I think we should, for my part, I as a man will go back into time to look at things that was done and see where they was done or not and try to move that they were implemented. So it's a very good start. I promise to send a follow-up even at the next forum so one can have the information how far we have reached with it. But just an introduction so that the Rastafari Global Secretariat has already established. We have gone so far. So I'll talk to Rashango Bako and talk the launching on the Global Secretariat. Because Rastafari Jamaica is not interested in that at all. There's no point in telling them about Global Secretariat. They don't want to hear that. They're dealing with their own mouse and mansion. And to them, that's a sidetrack. They figure they're going to lose power and authority. And that it is not so. So you have to have a different mindset when you do Rastafari business. No, it's not within the house or mansion. You have to step above that with one Rastafari. And that is where we have to grow and set things in order. So I think I'll provide more information next time, but it's just an introduction to what the Global Secretariat is about and what they have established so far. Give thanks.
Give thanks, Rastafari. So what they are saying is that the Global Secretariat is not a next organization, is not a next house or a next mansion, but is an organ that helps the cooperation and the communication amongst different Rastafari housing mansions. Is that correct? Could we summarize it like that?
Very correct. Very correct. Very
right.
Correct.
So that is to say that, you know, is an organ which doesn't have to be taken. I'm part of it, so I'm not part of something else. Is not a defining organization, right?
That's true.
So could we call it an umbrella organ, an umbrella body that won't work covering different aspects?
I would say it's would come under the organized and centralization of the Rastafari movement. If we want to put into an umbrella, and that is the instruction given by His Majesty. So you'll have voices coming out of different areas. One voice with action, not just talking, but action. So if we decide to do this, we will see how best we could coordinate it in respect of house or mansion under the umbrella of Rastafari.